Promotion secured, a league title in the bag. Now it's time for some transfers as we prepare for the championship. Hello and welcome back to Unemployed to Legend, episode 18 here at Wycombe Wanderers. My name is Craig and coming up in today's episode we have the summer transfers as we prepare for life in the second tier of English football. The championship, if you're not familiar with English football. But first up we have the season review. As you can see, a nice little trophy there, the League One trophy. It feels good. Even if it's a low league trophy, it just feels good to actually win something. Right, so all the new arrivals for the last season. Not as many as I thought, actually. Somehow I thought there was a lot more. But signing of the season instantly comes up as the first one. Tyler Smith, can't disagree with this. 40 appearances throughout the whole season, 24 goals, 6 assists, and our joint best performing player alongside Alfie Jones. I think both players have been absolutely key in us getting promoted in the end. Alfie Jones solid at the back, also got a rocket of a shot on him in midfield. Tyler Smith, of course, started slow, but he finally picked up about halfway through the season when we started playing with two up front. Harry Chapman, I'm very delighted with as a winger. Very, very good. He's also quality at set pieces. It's just a shame he got injured right at the very tail end of the season. And chances are he could actually be missing the start of the season because he got that bad of an injury. In fact, what were the boards saying about these transfers? They only gave Tyler Smith a C. Content with the deal to sign Tyler Smith. Players' wages are too high for his place in the squad. Oh, give it up, seriously. He was quality. His goals allowed us to get promoted. Mark Scully, excited to sign him on loan. Yeah, he continues to be a quality player. I don't know if we'll get him back on loan for next season because Man City do want us to pay wages for him. I mean higher wages this time, but we'll come to that in a little bit. Richard Childs, solid towards the end of the season. I don't think we'll see him back, mainly because his manager... where's he from? Leeds? Yeah, he's on loan from Leeds, so he's not happy at him playing as a winger, but we had enough strikers for the moment. Leighton Stewart, solid. He didn't really get much of a chance to impress, but he, I don't know if he'll come back next season. Jay Fitzpatrick, the player who probably surprised me the most throughout the whole season. I didn't think he'd even be getting ahead of Zack Swanson as a backup right back, but he's solid when he's in the squad. I think he's going to grow magnificently over the next few seasons, unless someone pays big money to bring him, to take him away from us. We will come to that in a moment because the club is interested in him. Otherwise, Matthew Blake, David Rouillard and Ben Owen, not massively spectacular, but they played their part when called upon, except Matthew Blake, who was injured for like half the season. League One wise, we were predicted to... What? The board expectation to win promotion? No, it wasn't. It was to get into the playoffs minimum. Wasn't to win promotion. But we've done that anyway. We've won the league title. Won it comfortably by 7 points at the end. The final two results of the season, by the way, because we didn't see those games. We lost against Rochdale, but then we ended the season with a 3-0 victory against Charlton, who we actually cost a playoff spot. They were sixth, and they got knocked out of the playoffs thanks to us. Sorry, Charlton. And you got Tyler Smith, who was the top scorer for us on 21 goals. I only got a B- from the boards. That seems pretty low. The biggest win, 6-0 against Leyton Orient, who were the worst team in the division by far. We smacked Cardiff 7-4 in a thriller of the game. Easily game of the season. It's a shame I didn't get that on camera. And Harry Chapman with goal of the season, which we can't see because the SI took it out of the game for some reason. Club reputation hasn't actually changed, still 2.5-star national. Sponsorship and competition prize money are up. The competition prize money, that's purely because of the FA Cup getting into the fourth round, which did help us out. Not financially that much, but it still helped. And merchandise sales, Smith, Chapman, Obita, Malley and Cooper are our top 5. Cooper is more likely to leave us at the end of this season. I say the other 4 should hopefully stay around for next season. So overall, this was our best 11 going into for this whole season. So Patterson in goal, Bueno, Critchlow, Jones and McCarthy in the back 4, Thompson and Malley in midfield Obita and Chapman on the wings, Scully and Smith up front. Can't disagree with that. Chapman, you could say... Actually, yeah, I'll go with Chapman, because you could also say Maboud, who showed up in the second half of the season. Scully, Adebayo, you could say either of them for up front as well. It's a shame Adebayo didn't make it in, because he's the one who won us promotion in that game against... I think it was against Bolton in the last episode. But he's certainly worthy of a place in this 11, if it wasn't for Scully or Chapman. Let's have a look. Goals-wise, Tyler Smith with 24, Scully 15, Obita with 11. That's the top 3. And for assists, Harry Chapman with 14. You can see why. He got into the starting 11 clearly. Obita with 12 and Mali with 8. Obita, over 20 goal contributions for the entire season. Very impressed with him. As far as accolades go, I won Manager of the Month for December and February. And Club Awards, Fans Player of the Season was Obita, Young Player of the Season, Mark Scully, and Signing of the Season, as we know, Tyler Smith. It was always going to be him. It was also Tyler Smith, also top goal scorer and most Player of the Match awards with 8. And let's see, most assists, Harry Chapman, we've seen. Jason McCarthy, highest average rating. Yeah, he organised the defence very, very well. We were much better at the back with Jason McCarthy in the defence. And Billy Heaps, most passes completed per 90 minutes. Record breakers, this is only in the actual save itself. So Tyler Smith is now the top goal scorer at Wycombe, 24 goals. He beats Ricky J. Jones from last season, who had 22. Most goals was also by Tyler Smith in a match, a hat-trick. And in a league match, that was a league match, same thing, 3 goals by Tyler Smith. Clean sheets, Anthony Patterson, 21. I'm not sure, was that his own record that he beat? Because I think he had the top most clean sheets in the previous season as well. But for a goalkeeper who's only like 2.5 star, very well done by him. He's certainly punched above his weight. I don't know if he'll be quality for the championship, but we'll come to that anyway. History in the making, finished top. Once Wycombe got rolling early in the season, I'd say about halfway through the season, it looked hard to stop them going on to promotion. I'd say about halfway through the season, it took for us to really get going. If you remember, we actually struggled to score goals. Right, club vision for next season. Develop players, yeah. Play defensively solid football. I don't think that's going to happen. Play counter-attacking football. No, I'm going to delete that because I don't want that. Minimum 2-year contracts, that's fine. The others are all standard. Fight bravely against relegation next season. That's realistic for Wycombe. The one season they did have in the Championship back in 2020-21, they obviously went down, but they did put up a very brave fight, which Gareth Ainsworth declared as the best season that he could possibly have had at Wycombe, which is a bit weird considering they ended up going down. We just was suggested taking this out, but no, they don't want to take it out. I'm not playing counter-attacking football. That's absolute rubbish. Alright, I'm going to... I thought that... Actually, when I took that out, I actually thought I was going to... I thought that was going to mess up, and I thought I'd be sacked. The board will continue with its existing vision for the future. I hope I didn't get sacked off that. That would just be awkward. Right, end of season team meeting. We've discussed the plans for next season. So it looks like we're going to be fighting bravely against relegation. I thought I had more players than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What, 22 players? I'm sure I've got more than that. We can avoid a fight. Nope. I'm proud of our efforts to avoid relegation this year. We got promoted. What the heck? I'm so happy with promotion, but I know how hard it will be playing at a higher level. With that in mind, I will be strengthening the squad to help our chances of staying up. Yeah, that's fine. I'm always nervous when I do that sort of talk because I don't know how players are going to react when they go up and then they figure that they're not going to be given a chance in the next division. It's like, oh, why are you not sticking with us? I will, but I need to strengthen the squad depth. Excellent. Discuss promises when we get back. That's fine. And just send them off on holiday. See you in the summer. Right. End of season break. They'll be back at the end of June. Let's have a look at the squad then going into the summer. So overall, the quality of the squad is not the worst, but at the same time, championship level, they will be found out very, very quickly. So it's a case of Where do we actually need to strengthen? I've not used this screen very much, actually, in the last season or two. But if we go with a 4-2-4, if anything, I'll probably be changing up these tactics. So 4-2-4 will stay, 4-3-3 as well. But I'm probably thinking of changing that 4-4-2. I don't think that's going to be sticking around. I don't know what other tactic I would go with. Possibly 4-2-3-1. Maybe 5 at the back. I'll see what will benefit the squad the most when it comes to pre-season. But for now, just looking at the squad depth, goalkeeper needs strengthening. Davy Rouillard, I would not trust him in the Championship because he made too many mistakes. You didn't see him play many times, if at all. But he made quite a few mistakes when I did see him play off camera. Defence looks solid but unspectacular. I do think we're going to need to strengthen defence. Midfield would probably be the same. Yeah, sorry, central midfield definitely would be the same, and I think the wings as well. Obita, it's worth noting, Obita is actually 32 years old. He will be 33 at the end of 2026. He's someone who's going to need to be replaced very, very soon because, yeah, his attributes, his physicals are holding up at the moment, but they're just going to start declining very, very rapidly very soon. Chapman and Smith is not a right winger. Adebayo plays up front more these days, so really got Harry Chapman for the right. You've got Maboud as well, but I think he's going to be moving on as well. How old is he? He's 24 years old. He's still very good physically, but I'll try and move him on. I think we can do better than him this summer. Up front, Smith and Adebayo will be there, but I don't know if we're going to be getting Scully back or Leighton Stewart. I think both of them might be out of our price range, depending on how much business we do throughout the whole summer. So we're definitely going to need to strengthen up front. We're going to need to get a couple more wingers in. Midfielders, maybe 1 or 2. In fact, Bueno is our third. Hang on, Bueno is our third best central midfielder. That's a bit damning. Right, we're going to need to strengthen the central midfield because Bueno is not playing there. Mali will be fine. Jones is more of a centre back. Heaps may or may not come back. Gomez will be there. Hutchings, I didn't mention, is already confirmed for next season. He is a loan signing for us until June 2027, which is excellent stuff. He is a bit of a bad boy. He is someone who keeps getting yellow cards. In fact, how many yellow cards did he get this season? He got 12. He got 11 last season, so he's got 23 yellow cards and 2 reds in the last 2 seasons. He is our resident bad boy. But he's back for next season. He's got that bit of aggressiveness that I do like. And defence-wise, we are going to need to strengthen in defence. McCarthy is now actually 30 years old. He's still good for now, but as you can see, he's starting to decline a little bit. So he's going to need... Well, I say need replacing, but obviously we do have Fitzpatrick, who is on the rise. Zack Swanson, his days are numbered. He's League 1 standard, and he's wanted, actually. Who's he wanted by? Burton. Right, he's going to be on the move. And goalkeeper, of course, we're going to need to strengthen. We're going to need to strengthen all over the place. All positions. And finance-wise, ignore the fact we're $1 million in debt. We've got 1.26 million to spend, and we've got about 40,000, or just shy of 40,000 in the wage budget. We have room to improve. We know where we need to strengthen. It's going to be a very, very busy summer. Okay, so it's been about a week since I've actually switched on this camera. I was hoping to get this episode completed before I went on holiday for a couple of days at the end of the week, but it's not happened. So I've gone through about 2 months of the summer since you were last with me. Got a lot of transfers done. We're almost at the start of the season. And then this has happened. Yeah, Sunderland have approached me for taking over at their club as the manager. And bear in mind, this is not a Sunderland side who are in the Championship or League 1. No, Sunderland have somehow got themselves into the Premier League. This is a team who actually beat us in the playoff final, you might remember. Not the season gone, but the season before. So they just got promoted from League 1. And they've just done a back-to-back promotion. So now... In fact, where did they finish? They must finish, I'm guessing, in the playoffs. Okay, so they've gone through the playoffs back to back. Now in the Premier League, 3.5-star reputation. So they're actually a higher reputation than me. Definitely higher than Wickham, who's like 2.5 stars. And their manager, who was previously Lee Johnson, he left after getting Sunderland promoted to the Premier League. He's now in charge of Burnley, who are also in the Premier League as well. So it's a bit of a managerial merry-go-round going on at the bottom of the Championship. And to be honest with you, I don't know what to think. I mean, this is a fast track into the Premier League if I do take this job. And for any young manager like myself, I would absolutely go for this. Because why wouldn't you? You test yourself in the Premier League. What are they actually looking to do? Fight bravely against relegation. So even if I got relegated with Sunderland, I wouldn't get sacked. I mean, it's a heck of a lot better than Wickham in terms of the transfer budget. The wage budget isn't even that high. I've only just noticed that. But convert some of the transfer budget, it's absolutely fine. The only problem is, I mean, when does their season actually begin? Oh, good grief. Wow, they got Man City and Chelsea in the opening 2 games of the season. That's a nightmare. They got West Ham as well, Leicester, Liverpool, Tottenham, Everton. In the opening 2 months of the season. That's kind of a nightmare. But their season begins in literally a couple of weeks. How are their squad actually looking? Let's have a look. They've got a few youngsters, not too many. They've got a lot of players over the age of 30. Wow, that's 11 players. Don't know why I clicked on Tom Bradshaw, didn't mean to. They've got 11 players over the age of 30. Sorry, did I? Yeah, that's fine. It's 11 players. How many have they got in the squad overall? They have 32. So 1/3 of their squad is over the age of 30. And when we go through the transfers for what I've done so far this summer, you'll see that there's not that many over the age of 30. I think it's like the same number almost, but there's a lot more younger players. So basically Sunderland is a rebuild job. And what transfers have they even done this summer? So let's have a look. Some of these players who are 30. I hope they haven't been bought in this summer, because that would be a nightmare. So they've spent a fair bit of money already. And by the looks of it, they've been buying from the likes of other Premier League clubs, or getting loans from other Premier League clubs anyway. Oh, that's last season. Sorry, that's last season. This season then. So we're getting in some free transfers. Jude Smith, spoiler, he was actually a player I was going for, but Sunderland ended up getting him. Jemison, he's one of the 30-odd-year-old players, isn't he? He's 33 and he's just been bought in. That's terrible. So it's basically a rebuild job. That's what Sunderland is, with a month of the transfer window to go, and they start the season in 2 weeks against Manchester City and Chelsea. I was actually playing this last night and I decided to sleep on it because I wasn't sure whether I would take this job or not. But to be honest with you, looking at Wickham, I went through the transfers I've done, the squad that I've built, and you know what? I feel more excited about taking charge of Wickham for this season in the Championship than I do with Sunderland in the Premier League, and struggling with them, more than likely. Sunderland have just done back-to-back. They've got very old players. Needs a complete rebuild there, which we're already doing at Wickham. As we're moving up into the Championship, I'm trying to get the younger players in with some potential. So you know what? I mean, it's right behind my head. You're not going to be able to see this, but it says it on the screen. Talks have broken down. I'm walking away from it. And that is because you'll probably see when we go through the transfers in just a moment. So as I've mentioned, I've done about 2 months of the summer transfer window already, and a lot of players have currently come in. So let's go right from the very beginning. We're going to go through the players who have actually gone out just before the season ticked over. Zack Swanson has left for York on a free. I mean, York are in the National League and Zack Swanson is a League One standard player. I wish I could have got some money for him, but I just wanted him off the wage bill because I don't think he was going to be... No, I don't believe he was going to be playing in the Championship this season. So more than happy to get him off the wage bill. We had started to just free up a lot of wages for other players. Matthew Blake, our backup left back, has gone to Grimsby for £26,000. He got injured so many times. He's already injured again. He's already injured again at Grimsby. He's out for 2 to 5 weeks. That says it all. We made the right choice. Bought him in on a free 18 months previously, made a quick little profit on him. That's fine. It wasn't his wages that was the problem, it's just the fact he rarely played because he was always injured. Davy Rouillard has gone to Premier League Brighton. Why did we let him go? He just wasn't that convincing in goal. I felt we could do better than him as a backup keeper at the very minimum, and we have, you will see very, very shortly. But we've turned a quick little profit on him, £40,000 to Brighton after bringing him in for 20k last summer from Coventry. So if he gets game time in the Premier League, fine, but I doubt it. He's League 2 standard. Good luck to him at Brighton. Dapo Mabood, you might be a little surprised by him going, but I don't know if he'll cut it in the Championship. Backed by the fact that he has gone to Cardiff, who are still in League 1. £250,000 we sold him for. Very good bit of profit, very good business after only 18 months at the club. Didn't exactly tear up a lot of trees. In fact, how many? He only got 5 assists and 6 goals in, what, 38 appearances for the club. So he was good for getting the ball as far forward as possible. I mean, 16 pace is nothing to sniff at, but it's just the end product wasn't quite there. So wish him luck at his new club. But he's League 1 as far as I'm concerned. Oliver Casey has also gone to League 1 QPR. £65,000. He's actually a slight loss, but he came in before I took charge at Wickham. So it's not my fault. Lee Bower is the one who brought him in. And Lee Bower was the one saying to me, "Oh, I couldn't spend any money, that's what I'm doing." Well, you spent money on this guy and he ended up being a loss. So who's the fool here, Lee Bower? He was I was about to say he was a decent little backup option, but he barely played last season. He didn't even start any league games. That's pretty much an indictment of Casey. He just wasn't good enough for the squad anymore. We had outgrown him. Just going through some of the other players. Stephen Kennedy and Enrique Arden, we'll go through them in a moment. They've just come in this summer and they've gone out on loan, but we'll go through those in a moment. Grant Campbell, we've seen before. He's gone out on loan again, this time to, where were Bristol Rovers? In League 1. So he's a National League player who will be playing in League 1 next season. Very, very happy. Is he actually... I was going to say, I'm hoping he'll be a regular starter. He might be. We'll see how he does in League 1 this season anyway. And Ben Owen was a youngster that we brought in last summer. Didn't play any games for us at all. He has gone for £350,000. Good bit of business. And you want to pay £350,000? Fair enough. They're in the Championship actually, but he's a National League player. If he does end up becoming like a Championship player in the future, then that's going to be a missed opportunity. But for £350,000 now, I'll take it. I will absolutely take it. Oops, let me just show quickly. His physical attributes actually were very, very good, but just mentally, he just lacked a lot. He lacked a lot mentally, which doesn't really impress me. I kind of want someone in the middle of the park who's actually going to be mentally solid and just drag us kicking and screaming forward if possible. Now, for the players who have come in, let's just quickly go through them. First up, Mark Jones. Ignore the fact he's already injured. We've done a very strenuous pre-season. He's a 19-year-old Welsh striker, target forward to be exact. 2-star current ability, 5-star potential. He's in for £230,000 from Wolves, and the big reason I brought him in as well. 6'1". He's fairly strong. He's got good jumping reach. Going to be very, very good if we're aiming for a target forward. Of course, he's injured at the moment, but I think over the season he will improve massively, and he could be challenging the likes of Mark Scully and Adebayo for a starting spot alongside, for the moment, Tyler Smith. We'll come to that very, very shortly. Next signing that we did make, Ricardo Nalbant and Dennis Morris, both from Chelsea on frees. Both are youngsters, low-cost youngsters. If they net us anything in terms of money or performances, then it's a transfer, or it's transfers well done. Ricardo Self is another youngster we brought in from Liverpool. He looks very, very good already, and he is coming in to my main squad, as is Dennis Morris, but I think Ricardo Self is the one who's likely to break into the first team. Do a bit of a Jay Fitzpatrick, if you will, from last season, but in the middle of the park. Very happy about him. All three of them are potentially Championship players. Not discuss. yeah, potentially Championship players. Ricardo Self is already League 2 standard, so I think he'll make that jump very, very well. Clicked on a bit too early, but Ricky J. Jones is back. I did say I wanted to bring him back since he was on loan with us 2 seasons ago. He was held hostage by Peterborough for an entire season, to the point it is now costing development time. He's now League 2 standard, but he still has a chance to be a Championship player. He performed well for us last time he was with us, with 25 goal contributions in 34 league games. But at Peterborough, he didn't start a single game last season, and it's kind of cost him. And hopefully we can start to get use of his potential out of him this season. £200,000. Is there anything added on? Yeah, there's potential add-ons, but it depends if he actually meets those. I think, what's it going to be? Clauses? I think it involves like goals or league appearances or something. He might meet those, but not until way, way later. Still very fast, still very pacey. Physically, he's going to be decent for us. Mentally, I would have liked him to be a bit stronger, but Peterborough not playing him obviously doesn't do him any good. Into the July signings now, and Josh Martin was first in the door. 24-year-old English winger slash midfielder slash attacking midfielder. He can basically play anywhere in the sort of midfield and wide areas. 2.5 star current ability, 3.5 star potential. He's done the rounds a little bit in terms of League One and the Championship. We've brought him in from Fulham on a free. I'm more than happy for this guy to be a backup for us on the wide areas. In fact, he played for Norwich in the Premier League in real life, so he's got that experience. Apparently League 2 standard, but I think he'll be fine. Certainly mentally, technically and physically, he does exactly what we want him to do. He can play as a wing on the right, inverted wing or inside forward on the left hand side, which is the roles that I use. So perfect fit, and here is hoping he will be very, very useful for us. Enrique Arden, as I've already mentioned, we brought him in and then we've just loaned him straight back out to Rochdale. But he is a 2.5 star current ability player with, doesn't actually show, but I think it's like 3.5, 4 star potential. But where is he on here? It's behind my head. Alright, he's got 4.5 star potential, so that's absolutely fine. We brought him in from Arsenal. He has played Premier League games for Arsenal. He didn't do particularly well, but that's because he's not quite Premier League level. But he has that chance to still grow. He'll go out and do a job hopefully at Rochdale this season. I'll keep an eye on him, and hopefully we'll see him back here next summer. Greg Young, backup left back, who is already injured, sprained ankle ligaments. I've just reminded myself. I've just literally switched this game on and I'm creasing inside already. But he's a backup to Hugo Bueno on the left wing. Left back slash left wing back. 2.5 star current ability, 3.5 star potential. He apparently has no history, but he has actually come from Wraith Rovers in Scotland. So I don't know why this is glitched, and that's fine. You know what? If that means we're getting a player who's fresh off the park, then I'm happy. Decent League One player with potential to be in the a Championship player, considered to be a leader as well. His leadership is like 8. We'll ignore that. Audi Makengo. Just Makengo. We'll just go with Makengo. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. 19-year-old Congolese midfielder. 2-star current ability, 4.5 star potential. He's got history, mainly in Aston Villa's youth team. Came through their academy. He is currently National League standard, but again, potential to be Championship. You kind of see what we're going for this summer. He fits the definition of getting in younger players and trying to develop them, maybe get them some game time. Most likely in the Cups, not really the League, probably. But mentally, he looks very, very good already. Certainly very strong mentally for a 19-year-old. He's not exactly physical, but I don't look too much for physicality in my midfielders. Unless they're going to be a ball-winning midfielder, which he is not. He is probably going to be a central midfielder or Mazzala. Could be a playmaker actually as well. Ooh, his first touch is excellent. Very good, decent work rate, very good teamwork. I think he's someone who, if we need someone to just spray balls around, I think this guy, Makengo, will do the job for us. Next signing, James Balaguezi, on loan from Liverpool. We seem to be doing some good business with them this season, this summer. 2.5 star current ability, 4.5 star potential. He's had loan spells previously in Scotland at Livingston and in League One with Accrington Stanley. So he's played some games, not too many, but certainly he can seemingly hold his own in the Football League anyway. Potential to be a Premier League player, so I'm happy for him to get some game time. Let's see if we can get his overall ability up, not just his attributes, his game time also. Physically very good, mentally not that strong. He's not as strong compared to Makengo at 22 years old. Technically decent in exactly what we want him to do. But what would he be like as an inside forward? He'll be fine on an attack duty, inverted winger or inside forward. He can also play in central midfield, attacking midfield if necessary. Oh, attacking midfield as well. Perfect. That's how I like them. Certainly, I think he'll provide something for us going forward. He's more attack-minded, certainly with long shots, which we could probably do with a little bit more of, outside of Conor Malley, of course. And final signing we've made so far, we've got Toby Savin, who is going to be a backup goalkeeper, but I think he's going to run Anthony Patterson very, very close for that starting spot. 3.5-star current ability, 25-year-old Englishman. We've got him on loan from Brighton in the Premier League, so I think they got Davy Rouillard, didn't they? So they got Rouillard, and we've just literally taken Savin on a loan. We are paying some of his wages, of course. But how much are we paying? 2,300. Yeah, you know what? That's not bad. I mean, Rouillard was on, I think, around the same amount, if not a little bit more. So I'm very happy for Savin to come in. I think he's going to be very, very good. He's already Championship standards, which Anthony Patterson isn't, but he is going to be my starting goalkeeper. But he's going to have Savin breathing down his neck, especially if he hits the ground running in the cup games. He is a backup, but don't be surprised if he overtakes Patterson throughout the season. So those are the transfers that we have made so far. We've got about 10 days until the start of the season itself. And in terms of ongoing transfers, we've got Francisco de Paz, who we're trying to get in on loan, who can from Newcastle, who can play on either fullback positions. I mean, he'll be brilliant on the left right back now, especially as Greg Young will be out at the start of the season. He can also fill in at right back. Even though I know we've got McCarthy and Fitzpatrick there, it's just nice to have a defender there potentially who can play on both fullback positions. So if we can get him in, absolutely fantastic. He has previous experience again in Scotland. Why are Livingston loaning so many players from England? And Cheltenham, of course, he's got that Football League experience. So very, very happy. He's currently Championship level as well. Excellent stuff if we can get him in. Be a major coup if I can actually speak properly. The other signing we're looking at getting in, another central defender, Matty Pollock, who I did look at last summer. I never really focused on him, but we looked at him last summer, but he ended up going to... Where was it he went to? He went to Plymouth. So he left Watford side to go to Plymouth in the Championship. So he's got that Championship experience. And now we're looking to get him in. Does Plymouth want to capitalise? I think they've gone down. Yeah, Plymouth got relegated, so that's why they're trying to cash in on him. He's leading Sky Bet League 1. Translate that to he can play in the Championship with potential to be a Premier League player. I mean, physically, he's good. Strength-wise, very good for a centre-back. He's not fast in acceleration, but he's got decent pace. He's very strong. Positioning is decent. So he's going to be someone who will sit in defence, be decent in his positioning, and potentially muscle attackers off the ball, which is exactly the sort of thing we need. Being 6'3" obviously helps as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see if there's any movement on that before the first game of the season, which is at home against Portsmouth. So I'll come back before we start the season just to wrap up the video and go through any further transfers which have happened. And we are now at the start of the new season, our first in the Championship in this save. Really looking forward to it, especially with the squad that we've put together. It'll be interesting to see how they match up in the Championship itself. We did make one more transfer in the last 10 days. Unfortunately, Francisco de Paz, he went to Aberdeen on loan from Newcastle, so we sadly miss out on him again. We did, however, bring in Matty Pollock for £550,000. I think that's the most I've spent on a player in this save so far. Having money as a transfer budget is really, really nice to have once you start working your way up through the leagues. But he has come in from recently relegated Plymouth, and having had a whole season in the Championship, I hope that he will be a quality player for us in central defence. He played one friendly so far and he scored on his debut from a header, from a corner. That's pretty much the reason also why I brought him in as a 6'3" giant, which means that this will be most likely our starting lineup in tomorrow's game. I don't know why he's sitting on an advanced forward role. So at the moment, even though we've made a lot of signings this summer, only 2 of them will actually be starting, and that's going to be Matty Pollock in defence and Ricky J. Jones on the right wing. James Balaguezi will be on the bench, and all the other signings, bar of course Scully and Hutchings, who they were here last season. We've just renewed their loans for this season. The likes of Self and Morris, they're youngsters. Jones and Young, well Mark Jones, sorry, and Young are both injured. And Toby Savin and Josh Martin most likely and hopefully will be featuring midweek in the League Cup. So where does that leave us in terms of the media prediction for the Championship? 22nd. So the media think we're going to get relegated. Oh, fantastic. But overall, I'm a lot happier with the depth that we have in this squad. I think we have overall about 26 players in the main first team squad, which is absolutely fantastic. In fact, let me just double check. Yeah, 26. 25 actually, sorry, because we've got 1 trialist here. I'm not really going to show too much of that trialist. Unlikely he's actually going to be coming in. But overall, I'm much happier that we have a decent backup goalkeeper, even though he's the best goalkeeper in our squad apparently now. We've got decent depth across the field. Some players can play multiple positions. Here's looking at you, Chris Hutchins and Alfie Jones. Yeah, overall, I think this is a squad that can survive in the Championships this season. This is a season where if we survive, I'm very, very happy with that. So don't expect a promotion coming this season. The jump from League One to the Championship is stupid high, especially as you go further into the save. One thing I did forget to mention, it wasn't just Sunderland that were actually trying to recruit me throughout the summer. They're the only ones to offer me an actual contract, but I've had the likes of Brighton and Burnley, both Premier League teams, who have both given me interviews. They didn't offer me a job. Sunderland was the only one, which is why I showed you them. But I've given my reasons why I've turned down Sunderland. I think this project that we're doing at Wycombe right now is more exciting. Personally, I hope to continue to enjoy it, and if it means that we find another team to go and manage later on the back of success here at Wycombe, then that's absolutely fine. But I want to test myself in the Championship with this squad that I have built, especially as it's a lot younger. Wednesday, first games of the new season in the Championship, home against Portsmouth and away against Millwall. 2 meaty ties that are going to really test how good we could be or how much work we have to do in the Championship. Northampton in the League Cup, we're done off camera. No one cares about the League Cup. But here is hoping we start to get to that 50-point total as quickly as possible and secure survival for Wycombe. Folks, if you have enjoyed this episode and all the transfers that have come in, make sure that you hit the like button down below and smash the big red subscribe button so you don't miss the beginning of the new season. It does also help the channel out by hitting the subscribe button. And just make sure that notifications are turned on for future videos. Thank you all so much for watching. I thank you all again so much for the support on this series. I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.